Hey guys, it's Michael. So I'm just going to do my own recording in order to make up for today. Sorry we couldn't do it live. I'm actually in a place where there's no background noise. So again, all apologies, but let's just get right to it. Okay, so what I wanted to show you again is in Photoshop, okay? And as we're doing, I'm going to do two examples of mock-ups with all over print, okay? I'm going to do a t-shirt and I'm going to do a coffee mug. And I'm also going to attach a couple videos that Kelly did as a little bit more detail, and that way you guys should be able to get whatever you need, and you can refer back to this video and her videos as you're doing mock-ups, okay? And as I said on the webinar, remember when you're submitting a mock-up file to Randy, it needs to be 3,000 by 3,000 pixels at a 300 DPI. So I found this picture, this surfing picture, and I'm just going to use this as my example for today. And like I said, when you guys find your artwork, this is kind of how you'll go about doing it. So I started with an image size of 700 by 700. Just because I know I'm going to use this as like a mock-up, maybe run an ad with it. So I'm just going to start with that canvas size. And what I did is I placed my image in here, my layer. Okay, and so let's start with the T-shirt. So I have the main artwork image layer above on top because I want it to be kind of behind the T-shirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my T-shirt. Actually, sorry, I'm going to click on my image size or my image, and I'm going to come up here to opacity. And I have the T-shirt layer, it's on. So I'm going to bring my opacity down on my artwork so I can kind of see where it's going to line up as far as where it's going to line up on the T-shirt. So if I wanted to have this guy maybe a little bit over, I would come over here to my move tool. Maybe I can move it over a little bit, maybe to more to the center. But really, it's up to you. You can make this, obviously, you can make this a little bit bigger. Control or Command T, holding your Shift button down. So if you wanted to make it a little bit bigger, you kind of just maybe move it over to the middle. So really, it's up to you. So now that I have that opacity, I can kind of see exactly how it's going to look on the shirt. Okay. So what I want to do is I'll bring that opacity all the way back up to 100%, and I'll just hide that layer for now. So what I'm going to do is I want to select the T-shirt layer. So I want to select this whole outline of the T-shirt. How you do that is you come over to your magic wand tool and you click in here. Make sure you're highlighted on your T-shirt layer. As you can see, this selected all around the T-shirt, and that's what we want. Now, some of you might try it, and let's say your tolerance is down a little bit, like say 35. You may select it, and you'll see that it's grabbing some of the stuff on the inside. We don't want that. So usually if you hit it about 75, it will select just the outer edge of the T-shirt. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to save the selection. So you're going to go to Select, Save Selection, and then you're going to just name it whatever, T-shirt. Okay, now what you want to do on this, so now that you have that saved, in case you ever want to, if you change it or if you want to like make a different image, you have that selection saved. You can always go back and just load that selection now that you have it saved. But since I'm not going to take my magic wand, I'm not going to click out of there. I'm just going to leave the lines, you know, kind of selected around the shirt, and I'm going to go ahead and go onto my image layer now. Okay, I'm going to click on the image layer, and as you can see, my T-shirt is still selected in here. And so all I'm going to do is going to simply edit, copy, and edit, paste. And what that does is that gives you another layer of just your selection. Okay, so once I hide this layer, the main image layer, the one I pasted it pasted just the image on my selection. So again, that's kind of how you do your T-shirt. You know, this one is, you know, got a lot of white with the wave rolling over, so you know you can change the background of your image if you want. What I like to do, since this is a little bit more harder edge, and Kelly's video will show you how to do more of a refined edge. But if I'm going to use this in an ad, what I like to do is just simply put a stroke on it, and it kind of gives it a little bit more of a definition, okay? And so I usually like to stay maybe in this grayish white, so it's not, you know, if you had black, it would look, you know, silly like that. But I kind of come up to this grayish white over here just to kind of give it a little bit of definition. That's just a little probably cheap way of the way that I do it. But I'm sure that Kelly's video will explain a little bit more how to take some of this these edges and make them a little bit more refined, okay? So basically that's how you do a all over print for a t-shirt, okay? I simply use one of the mock-ups from a store. I just went in here, and again, I just went into any of your products. Hold on, let me just answer Greg. Hold on. So yeah, so I just write on this, like if I'm using a mug, I just right click and I hit copy image, and I'll do that with the t-shirt too. And then when you come over into your Photoshop, you can just hit paste right in there. So let me send Greg something real quick. So that's how you do that. So what we'll do now is we'll send we'll try it with the mug now, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this. I'm going to bring my image up again, take out the background, and I'm going to have the mug. So let's just see the mug. Now some of the mock-ups with the mug, you'll see in Kelly's video has the back, you can see the back lip of it, and some of them you don't. So this one that I have particularly doesn't have like the round, and you can't see the inside of the mug at all, which is kind of cool. You don't have to do as much. But yeah, so let me just send this to Greg real quick. And here's Kelly's videos, which I will be getting to you guys. And we're going to go like this. And send this to Greg. There you go, Mr. Greg. Okay, so now what we want to do is go back to Photoshop here. And again, I have my mug area selected. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to just delete this. I guess I can put this back on. I'm going to go in my layer with the image, my art image, and I'm going to bring the opacity down. You kind of see where this thing is lining up on the mug, okay? So I can see that I'm going to need to move this over a little bit because I want the guy more towards the center, okay? And I think that's going to probably be really cool. Maybe make this a little bit bigger, Control-T, just to get some of that white out of there. And if you need to like move this over some, you don't. That's fine too, okay? But that's going to look cool, I think. Let's do like that. Okay, so now I know that that's kind of where I'm going to want my design when I make my selection on the mug. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this opacity back up, turn off this layer. Now I want to select this mug. Okay. Oops. Make sure that you're on your mug layer. Okay. Now that I have the mug selected, as we know, the handle doesn't get any of the print on it. So what you want to do is, once you have this selected, you want to come over here to your, if you hold this down, your rectangular marquee tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold the Alt, or I don't know what it is on a Mac, but we hold the Alt key. As you can see, it gives this little minus sign. So I try to stay right on that line, because I'm just going to take that selection out. Holding the Alt key down, it takes that selection out. Okay, so now I just have the face of the mug. Okay, so again, I want to go to Select, Save Selection. We'll save this one as Mug in case you need to load your selection. If you ever lose, if you accidentally click off of here, you can easily load your selection when you go back to your image layer, and it will do it. So I try not to, but that's why you save your selection in case you need to load this exact selection again. So let's go ahead and put my layer on there. It's kind of, I know exactly kind of where I want it. So I'm going to go edit, copy, edit, paste. Okay. Oops, I was on the wrong layer. See, I was on my mug layer, so I'm going to delete that. Get to your image. And let's see, is it still, I might have to load the selection. Let's go with mug. Okay, see how that's why you save that, because I accidentally clicked off of it because I was on the wrong layer, so I just loaded it up again. So now I make sure I'm on my artwork layer, my image layer, edit, copy, edit, paste. I should be able to come down here, and voila, you have an all-over print mug. And again, Kelly will show you some ways to refine these edges and make it look good. This looks pretty good, I think. Like I said, it just really depends on the design, but that's the basics in Photoshop and how you do all-over print for T-shirts and mugs. I hope that was beneficial to you guys. I'm sorry I couldn't get that to you live, but we will for sure keep going with this stuff. And I know Kelly is on vacation this week, so next week she's going to join us and do some more cool stuff in Photoshop, all right? Well, I hope that helps, and I will upload this video along with her videos to the members area, and you guys will be ready to go. Have a good day. Thanks, guys.